stay here. I try so hard, my dear, to just get by. I want you to think about the top 3 people that you love the most while I prattle on here. A story about my life to provide context, as usual. So I am unfortunately out of work for a few days because of something that happened that was completely out of my control. Some unfair things happened because of my disability, and it really sucked. So I've been at home by myself. This is day 3 that I am trying to get through, and I have probably 2 more days to get through by myself. And it has been hard. When I was growing up, I wasn't really, I'm not going to say allowed to, but I never got much of a chance to just be by myself much. So I never really got good at being alone. As an adult, I have tried to learn to cope with this. It has been difficult. I have been trying many years, and it is still something that I struggle with. I do identify myself as an introvert, but growing up I was sort of forced to masquerade as an extrovert. And what that looks like for me is I recharge around specific people. I don't recharge very well by myself. Sometimes I do, but it's usually for short stints, like a couple of hours, here and there. When I'm in a group of people, my battery is low, very quickly. And then I get to my safe people, my preferred people, my top 3 loved ones, and I feel safe. I feel I am able to regain my battery a bit, and then am able to either be by myself for a little while again or be in a group for a little while again. Now, I don't think that being alone or being in a group or being with just a couple of people, none of those are correct. It's all individuality. It all depends on how you cope with the world and what fills your battery the most. Now, I've heard a lot about self-care while you're alone. And I have always struggled with the concept of self-care because I never got the chance growing up to figure out how to identify what I needed, because my childhood situations were chaotic. I often did not receive what I needed and was not in a place to safely ask for what I needed. So my needs were often thrown to the wayside. I was often required to, I'm going to say, submit to do what was told of me and to do what others expected of me. And sometimes, yes, I would lash out and try to fight against that, but usually to my own detriment. So self-care that I try to identify with looks different every day. Exercise is a big one, although it is probably the one that I struggle with doing the most. I have a lot of videos where I'm exercising because sometimes I just need to get it done, and I also really want to engage in creativity by making a video for you guys. So I try to double task, but honestly I think that ends up being a detriment to both my video and my exercise. So I've been trying to separate it. Self-care also looks like for me taking a long shower with music blaring, getting gentle chores done here and there while talking to someone on the phone or talking to you guys as I do in a lot of my videos. And everyone's self-care is going to look different. Now, at the beginning of this video, I asked you who the top 3 people are that you love the most. And when I was in therapy once, I listed like my husband, my best friend, and I don't know, someone else at the time. It was years ago. And my therapist asked me why I didn't put myself on that list of my favorite people. And that hit really hard because I realized that I was not being my own friend. I was not treating myself well. I was not talking to myself kindly and with compassion and empathy. I beat myself up more than I would ever any other person in my life. Now, you can call that childhood programming if you want to. You can call it lack of awareness. I don't know. But having been by myself for the last couple of days, I've realized that I really haven't made much progress on being my own best friend. Which is unfortunate and a hard thing to realize. And it's hard not to just beat myself up for it. So I keep having to change the thoughts in my head a little bit when I catch them. When I sit back and notice my thoughts. Link to my first video somewhere. And I realized that I carry a lot of shame. Now, a lot of people get shame and guilt confused. Guilt is I did something bad, and shame is I am bad. And I have a lot of trouble not shaming myself for things that I did or did not do, things that I can or can't do. It's just really hard for me to get out of that mindset. So if you relate to any of this concept at all, then I encourage you to try to be your best friend. You have to talk to yourself as if a friend was going through what you're going through right now. Gentle encouragement, empathy, compassion, understanding, positive advice. You just have to break through the negative thoughts and tell yourself like, hey, it's okay. You struggle with this and that's fine. All you have to do is take steps to overcome it. And I'm here with you. You have to tell yourself, I'm here with you. I'm holding your hand. You're not alone. And even if you feel alone, even if you're lonely, even if you're by yourself physically, you always have yourself. You are at the center of your life. And that's not selfish to make yourself a priority. It's not selfish or weird to talk to yourself like you're another person and say, look, you can get through this. It's not the end of the world. Pick up, try again, let's go. And you have to hold your own hand. And you have to try to learn to recognize what it is that you need in order to feel better, in order to break out of the shame thoughts, in order to get on with the day. So today I encourage you to recognize one thing that you say to yourself that you wouldn't say to your friends. And I encourage you to learn how to be your own best friend and to make it to the list of those 3 people that you love the most. But you are the common denominator in your life. And if you can't sit with yourself and you can't find a tiny little bit of love for yourself, everything's going to keep crumbling around you and you're never going to feel comfortable alone. So I want to tell you that you're not alone. Hold your own hand. Get through life together with yourself and realize that your own company can be whatever you need it to be. You just have to learn how. Thank you for joining me. I realize this was not my usual video, but I had to try to get it out of my head, and it's kind of a reminder to myself that, like, okay, even though we're alone for the next couple of days, it's not that bad. I can still get up and do something about it. So, much love and peace. Enjoy your journey.